John, welcome to our little show. And how many tractors would actually go on these treks you hold?
Well, I think at this stage we've got about, I think it was about 15 or so. Yeah, we do. This is the second time we've run this, and we did it a year ago, and we've run it with success. So we run it again. This is on the Anzac Day, and seems to be working pretty good.
Excellent. The old bulldog, you got to sort of set fire to the front of it, and the fire in this one seems pretty serious, John.
Yeah, he looks like he's got it in a bad mood, Bill. He's breathing a bit of flame at him, but I think he's just a bit keen with the blow lamp at this stage.
Oh, okay, but that's a common when you're starting these things. That much fire comes out of them.
Well, I think he might be getting in a bit of a hurry, and
Yep.
he's just sort of trying to short circuit the system a bit. But if you turn them on too quick, they'll naturally just.
Yeah. I see he's just flicked this backwards and the thing's spun the other way and he's on a lever. What's he doing?
Well, he's turned it backwards against the compression there, and that's the primer handle there. So she's obviously started backwards on him, and he just shut her right down on the handle and give her a flick and get her going the right way. Otherwise you'll have 6 forward, 6 reverse, and 2 forwards.
I love the way they just sort of sit there jumping. Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Well, most of them do. Yeah, they're pretty docile old girls, really.
Now Springston is where in Canterbury?
Springston's just located just south of Christchurch. It'd be 15 miles south of Christchurch, just not far from Lincoln College, not far from the Ellesmere Lake.
Right, now we're all off on the track, and it's not a very warm day, John, and everybody's got jerseys on, and with that cold southerly that's blowing today, I can tell you she's a bit not tropical.
Well, there's one fellow with his sleeves on. I don't know whether he's cracking hardy or not. But no, we get those old easterlies and cold southerlies down around this area.
We did an interview with the man who just went by there, young Jonty, and I see he's not driving a case.
No, Jonty's a man of many makes and models. He's not biased, I don't think, but I think he is case orientated.
That little Fergie I'm driving belonged to George, who we interviewed during the ploughing competition, and it's a diesel, quite rare.
Yeah, that's old George's TEF. It's a diesel. One of probably the first Massey diesels that got going. Yeah, you don't see a lot of them around. I think they're quite hard to start, and I don't know why they sort of never got going. Really, the TEA, the petrol version, sort of outsold them.
And there it is. And coming up to intersections, we're just like a car. We don't have blinkers, of course, so you've got to go back to the old hand signals. And so you put your make your mind up, Billy. But no, we're going to go left. I think that was telling me how big the fish I was going to catch at the other end of this. And of course you've got to sort of give a bit of the whip to keep it going.
Yeah, he's not scared, Bill. He's given to the handle. There's a couple of bulldogs getting along there, and they get along at a good speed.
Yeah, so the average speed I'd say is about 15k, maybe 20 in spots.
Yeah, the old bulldogs are good for about 20 k's. Because the old farmer there, they're quite capable of slipping along to about 25, nearly 30 k's.
And the young lady, not often do you see young ladies driving these things.
No, not sitting up in the elements anyway. It's she's from Leaston, and I believe that's her tractor.
Oh, okay. And there's young Jonty with his, and I always thought all these flutes make the tractor look really good.
Yeah, they do. They're sort of finished off the old Masseys along there with the fluted bonnets.
And I notice a lot of the tractors have a large mirror fitted, and that's a little sign there telling us that we're going along Selwyn Road and Rolleston's one way, so we are in the Canterbury Plains.
Yeah, well, the mirror's there. It's there to sort of. I don't know whether it's to see where you've been or see who's coming up behind you, but it does come in handy when you sort of.
Yeah. And that's Wayne Ward's, and he was leading the trek.
Yeah, that's Wayne. He's got a Massey 20, I believe, 20 I think it is. Yeah.
And so you've got to have somebody up the front who knows where they're going. So he sort of got the short straw, did he?
Well, I think he drew the short straw, Bill. Yeah, or either that, or put his hand up, or either way, he copped the job anyway, and he did a good job, I believe.
Yeah, because I've always thought that Leeston Southbridge area is a complete rabbit warren. You know, when you come off the main road heading to Rakaia, you turn left just before you get there, and as the roads go everywhere, all over the place, you can get lost in here, no worries.
Well, you can get lost. I don't know about the rabbit warren. There used to be a few rabbits there years ago. My old man used to trap rabbits, but and took thousands off the island. But I think all the rabbits are gone now, you can safely say.
But anyway, we're pulling up now. This is half time, and we're going to have some lunch.
Yeah, we've gone to John Winchester's collection in Rolleston. He's got a collection of tractors and cars. Man just going to park the Bulldog here.
Yeah, and this is the point when you can get out and do the post-mortems. You know, you passed me a bit quick back there, or where the hell did you get to, and all those sorts of noises.
Yeah, there's a bit of dissecting going on there, and who's right and who's wrong. I suppose nobody's right and nobody's wrong, I guess.
Yeah, and sausages and onion. Well, and between a piece of bread, that's a pretty good lunch.
Yeah, just well, most of them have got open cabs, and you're not that close to them.
Yeah. Now that's a lovely looking Mark 1.
Yeah, this is all John Winchester from Rolleston. It's his collections of Zephyrs. He's got from Mark 1 right through to Mark 4 of the Zephyr and Zodiacs. So he's quite very proud of his collection, John, and he's just finished building this big shed here.
And that's no mean task. You've got to have a decent shed if you've got a collection like that, haven't you?
Yes, yeah, no, he's not long at this place, but you've got to have a decent checkbook too, of course.
There's a little couple of old trucks there, and, well, utes, I suppose.
Yes, an old 38 barrel nose Ford and a 39 Deluxe and a 46 Mercury Coupe.
So I really enjoyed the lunch, John, and looking at the cars, and now we're into this little bit of rockery heading down sort of back towards Southbridge, and maybe tell us about where we are.
Well, this is, they left Rolleston, I believe, wasn't there, but Wayne led the way again with the trusty 20, and this is going down the Selwyn River from, well, just there by north of Dunsandel, and they're going down there, and
Dunsandel's a place you go past when you're heading south, and so if you turn left into Dunsandel and you'd like to do a bit of four-wheel driving, I guess it looks like four-wheel drives and motorbikes and all sorts of people enjoy this particular area.
Oh yeah, this is popular. Yeah, this goes right from that's from the main south right down to the Runton to Lake Ellesmere. So you can run down there with it's usually dry, and you can run down there with motorbikes and four-wheel drivers. Give it hell, yeah.
But it's still cold, and there's the flowers. You can see the wind blowing there, and it's sort of cold wind. But anyway, if you're enjoying the tractors and you enjoy driving them and you enjoy showing them off, you're in the right spot.
I think when they get back there's a tourist going along there now. When they get back, I think they'll put something warm in to warm the cockles.
The old Chamberlain's got a canopy, so I guess he's nice and warm. I don't know if it had a heater, but the engine's a heater. And there I am struggling along in front of him, hoping he doesn't run me over.
Yeah, I suppose you are he'd be sort of just idling along behind you, Bill. I see with that fast cornering there, and he's pulling out the pass now. They've got a good turn of speed on the road, the old Chamberlains.
Well, that was fun. I thoroughly enjoyed that, and we're arriving back at the start point now, and post-mortems, and I'll have a chat to a couple of the guys who are here. A couple of guests from the West Coast came over, Cocky and Matt Rata and Wes, and so if I track down Wes, I'll have a chat to him. And just interesting that those guys did an interesting track when we were over there a couple of years ago, and they took us tractor trekking, which is nothing like this. But anyway, I'll have a chat to Wes. Good on you, John.
Thanks, Bill.
With me is Wes, and Wes, Welcome to our little show, and the last time I saw you we were ploughing your paddocks up over on the west coast, Hokitika. Then after that we all went for a ride through the bush on Fergies and other little tractors and had a great time. And now you've come over to the calm side, I suppose,
Yeah.
of the island, and tried your hand at with the Ellesmere Vintage Club. You've tried your hand tractor trekking with them, and so just tell me how you enjoyed your day and compare it to what you do over the other side.
Yeah, no, it was a good day. We covered a fair bit of flat ground and seen a bit of country, come down the riverbed to Selwyn. And it's a bit more quieter than what we do on the coast, but no, it's enjoyable, eh?
But it's a bit like riding a bike, you're sort of going along at 15k or whatever we're going along the road at, and you're looking into paddocks and looking into sheds and, wonder what that is. Must come back and have a look at that next time we down this way. You can sort of see more than you would see flying along at 100k in a car.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Seen a few tractors out there and bits and pieces hidden in the scrub and, yeah.
Right, and this is what you drove today, the old number 44?
44, yeah.
What do you think of it?
Yeah, no, good tractor. John Deere Ford just purchased that in the last couple of weeks. It drives good, real good.
Oh, okay. So have you had many of these over the coast?
No, I've just restored one in the last year. It was a 101 Junior, and it'll be the only one out on the coast, I think.
Oh, okay.
And that's come from Canterbury, so yeah.
So what's on the coast mainly? Sturgeys?
Mainly Massey Ferguson's, yeah.
Yeah. So do you think that's because if a man who sold these things went over to the coast, there'd probably be a lot of these, but the man or do you think Fergies are actually suited to the job over there?
Yeah, it's probably franchise and bits and pieces. Like we had some good services over there, and there's a lot of Massey Fergusons, a lot of them.
Yeah, I'll say. And coming up soon, you're going to have some sort of how many Fergies you can actually get in the paddock.
Yes, we're planning that. It'll be interesting. We'll start the ball rolling anyway.
Yeah, fair. Is that sort of like a Guinness Book of Records?
Well, we'll see what happens. Like,
yeah.
In the club, there's a heap of them, so.
Are you inviting sort of people to bring their Fergies over to jam into the paddock?
Oh yeah, definitely. More the better.
Yeah, I'll say.
So,
here's a phone number to ring if you want to sort of cart your Fergie over the coast and enjoy the West Coast hospitality. I'm sure you'll thoroughly enjoy yourself. Have you organised one of these yourself? Like a trek that sort of, and what's that like? You got to ring everybody up, make sure they all get there, you got to talk to the cops, you got to talk to this, that and the other?
Yeah, well last, 3 weeks ago we did a trek. We went over the Arahura River and went through some scrub and bush tracks and whatnot.
Of course.
And we had to get permission through the Maoris across the Arahura River. Yeah, no, it was good. There was only probably 10, 12 tractors there, but we enjoyed it. Yeah. And it poured down all day, it was good.
Fair enough. So you'd recommend tractor trekking to people?
Definitely, it's good fun.
Yeah,
very sociable.
Yeah.
And you can borrow tractors to do it.
Yeah.
It's getting more and more popular too, so it's good.
I see there's a group from Invercargill way went from there right up to
Bluff, was it?
No,
Bluff,
was it Bluff? Yeah, up to the top of Nelson Way, or even further north than that, up to Collingwood, up to Farewell Spit.
Yeah, right.
And raising money for kids with cancer and that sort of thing. So
that's a good idea.
So it's a popular.
Yeah, well next February we're doing a trip from Hokitika through Molesworth, back down Rainbow and back to Hokitika.
Wow. And
we'd be towing our warrior boxes, so more tractors the better for that too.
Sure. And there's that same phone number. Give this guy a ring. His name's Matt Rata or Dennis. I'm sure he'll be able to put you right onto it. But it's what side of the year you're looking at?
March.
Oh, okay. Next year, 2018.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, folks, thank you very much, Wes. We thoroughly enjoyed ourselves, and so that's tractor trekking around Canterbury. One last thing I need to do here at this little tractor trek is this tractor's 70 years old this year, and so am I, so we're having give the tractor a beer. There you go. Happy birthday, tractor. If you're a farmer, why not take a look at JSwap Stock Foods webpage? First choice for New Zealand farmers. JSwap Stock Foods. Swap Stock Foods supplies proven stock food supplements to beef and dairy farmers throughout New Zealand. Swaps have worked hard for farmers over 70 years. They know farmers well and enjoy dealing direct with them. Their various stock food products are stored in and distributed from large storage facilities both in the North and South Islands. They've recently filled their long-awaited new Bell Block store with a full shipment of their stock food product, and this has more than doubled their storage capacity in Taranaki. Their website is full of stock food information, and I'm sure you'll find it most helpful. So check it out, www.swapstockfoods.co.nz. You'll be glad you did. And don't forget, they support our show. So good on them. And if you're a beef or dairy farmer, why not take a look at what they can do for you today? www.swapstockfoods.co.nz. Mahindra have got a great deal on at the moment. You can get a 4x4 pickup ute like the one that we use for only $95 a week. It comes with a 2.2 litre turbo diesel, a 3-year 100,000 kilometre warranty, 3-year roadside assistance, 2.5 tonne tow capacity and a 1.1 tonne load capacity. A great machine and certainly a great workhorse. And at the moment you can have one for zero finance over 3 years or $3,000 cash back. So check them out, www.mahindra.co.nz. You'll be glad you did. In November this year, we'll be organising what we're calling our Contractors Tour of New Zealand. Over a 10-day period, we'll be visiting some places of interest both in the North Island and the South Island, and we'll be looking at some of the machines you've seen on our Low Gear series, including both the Komatsu 575 Super Doses. So at the moment, we're taking expressions of interest. So if you'd like to join us or know somebody who might like to come along, email me at billhohepa@extra.co.nz or call me 09 536 5327 or check out our webpage at www.lowgear.co.nz. With me is John Stewart, and welcome to our little show, John.
Thanks, Bill.
And you've got John Deere. Now John Deere is a very old and respected American tractor.
Yes.
And obviously they came here to have agencies here throughout the country to sell these things, so we see them working all over the place.
Yeah.
And you've got a unique collection in that they come from America.
Yes, the bulk of my collection I've imported out of America over. We've got here the 4020 diesel, which is 1964, sort of first year of production. There's only 20 of these come out to New Zealand, so fairly rare, but in America they made hundreds of thousands of them. Yeah. A lot of them still being used today on farms. Parts are still readily available and easily obtained. This tractor is just short of 100 horsepower. You could either have it with an 8-speed synchromesh gearbox or an 8-speed power shift gearbox.
So all the controls are right in front of you?
Yes, they moved them onto the dash, but the last of this series they put them down beside the seat. Was a bit more user friendly down there.
Oh, okay. The 6-cylinder looks pretty big. It's easy to sort of work on? If you have to work on.
Yeah, I suppose not too bad. It's 404 cubic inch. Quite a reliable motor. Some of the farmers used to turbocharge these to get extra horsepower, and as far as I know they never had any issues with them.
I also noticed that all these tractors have got mufflers.
Yes.
Is that better for you, or just
well, probably
makes
is.
the engine go a bit better?
Probably helps your hearing in old age.
We'll just jump up on that seat and have a look at those controls, John.
What we've got here in front of us, we've got the gear shift lever, throttle, PTO lever, 3-point linkage and 2 hydraulic remotes, and all nice and easy, readily available.
I just see your throttle sort of had to bend your arm a wee bit to get at it.
Yeah, it's also throttle and stop knob, but it's not too bad a place for it. So then on the dash we've got a fuel gauge, temperature gauge and rev counter.
Everything you need and it's right there.
Yes.
Yeah, as I was saying before, some tractors are sort of, they thought about the driver last.
True. No,
like some trucks.
Still use this from time to time on the farm for some jobs. Still quite a comfortable tractor to drive.
And are these seats? They all seem to be pretty comfortable. Are they sprung? Or? Yeah,
this one they've all got suspension under them. This was specially designed for John Deere to support your back and armrests at the side.
They thought about you.
Yes, they did.
Excellent. Even getting on the thing, I thought about that as well.
Yes, steps and hand grabs.
Yeah, can't have enough of those.
No.
And the one next door, the 5, just before we go, what's the 420 stand for?
It doesn't really stand for anything, just 4020 was the designated number they gave to that model.
Oh, okay. Oh well, we're going to look at the 520.
5020.
Mike, 5020, that's, it looks huge.
Yeah, the 5020 was one of the biggest tractors made by John Deere in 1967, which is what this model is. Probably one of John Deere's most over-engineered tractors they ever built. It's only 140 horsepower, but it weighs in at over 6 tonne. 531 cubic inch motor, naturally aspirated. This is a row crop version. You could get them as a wheatland or standard version as well. But yeah, just a big heavy tractor for broadacre prairie applications.
The controls look exactly the same.
Yes, yeah, it's still the same family, so controls are in a similar place.
The only thing that's different, I see it's got a bit of a guard around the front here.
Yes, yes.
And you can climb up the steps.
Yep.
Again, I thought out, there's a gap between, what's in the front there?
You've got your radiator and then a hydraulic pump and a diesel tank out the front.
Oh, that's where the, oh, okay.
Yes.
Fill it up in the front.
Yep.
Fair enough.
These liked a lot of diesel.
The little black cap.
That's the radiator.
Open slowly, it says.
Yes.
Yeah. Amazing. The cab, could you get a cab at this time?
Yes, the latter ones of these you could get a cab on them, which made life a lot easier back in those days, especially out in the prairies of America and Canada.
Somebody told me we were looking at an oil pull. It had a big square box on the front of it and
Yes.
popped away. Pop, pop. I don't know how many, I only had one. But anyway, somebody said you sort of started at 8 o'clock in the morning when you started work. You got the thing and you went down that way till lunchtime. And
Yes.
you moved over a couple of metres and came all the way back. Is that sort of like prairie?
Yes, I would imagine that would be the same. Yes.
Wow.
Some of these 5020s, the owners took that motor out, and there was a company in America called Kinsey that would repower them with a 871 Detroit of 318 horsepower. So they went from 140 to 318, and they no adverse effect either because of just grossly over-engineered tractor.
Wow. Let's have a look at the one next door. That's got an interesting arrangement up the top there with the... John, I've seen all sorts of vehicles, trucks and cars and bulldozers, but I haven't seen anything like this. Maybe you could just explain that.
No, the top of the air cleaner there is an aspirator, and it swirls the air around and the dust, and it'll extract the dust out through the exhaust. And so then you're left with cleaner air to come down into the air cleaner.
Okay, so it's going that way.
Yes.
Rather than...
Yeah.
I thought the exhaust might have been blowing it out.
Sucks the dust out. It's a John Deere 6030. This was made in 1977. This was towards the end of their production. There was only another 50 made after this one. A very unique tractor in the John Deere line, as it was the only model of tractor that John Deere's ever offered 2 different motors in.
Oh, okay.
You could either have it as naturally aspirated, or you could have, like this one, the turbocharged intercooled motor. This is 200 horsepower. They only made the naturally aspirated one for 12 months because in the late 70s everybody was horsepower hungry, so everybody was buying the bigger ones, so John Deere dropped the naturally aspirated one out of the model range.
Got to keep up with the times.
You do, yes.
It's all about making a quid.
Yes. So as this tractor sits here with no water in it, it's 8.5 tonne.
Wow.
I've got dual wheels for it as well, and there again a big tractor built for the prairies. They tell me if you want to work it hard, you got to fill it with diesel at lunchtime. It likes fuel.
What's the little tank arrangement on the front?
That's your air cleaner element in there for the engine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Just an 8-speed synchromesh gearbox, so you select a gear and you're probably in it for the day.
Yep, yep. And it's all the pumps and things still out the front there.
Yes, yeah.
Does that help cool anything? These have got holes in it, I guess.
It's a grill for your radiator.
You get out this all right? The change?
Yes. So it's got an air conditioned cab that was built by Hinson for John Deere. And if you look at the cab, you'll notice it's very similar to a cab that they fitted to international harvester tractors in the same era.
Again, they've designed it to sort of, you know, to fit around the driver.
They have, yes, yes.
So it looks actually tidy.
Yes.
It's not just an afterthought like a lot of bulldozers we've seen in our travels.
But yes, just a big tractor, big motor, and yeah, it can pull.
How many of these are in New Zealand?
Just this one.
Okay.
They were never sold to New Zealand, far too big for here. They only sold them into America, Canada and Australia.
So Australians had them?
Yes, so we imported this in 2006 out of Minnesota to a good friend over there.
You enjoy it?
Yes, yeah, we use it odd times on the farm, not for a lot, but yeah, we can make some black smoke.
Fair enough. Can we hear it go?
Yes, no problem.
Sounds the part.
Does.
Yeah. Again, easy to get into, easy to get out of.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did a small stint driving a bulldozer, and you're sort of sitting on the thing going round and round with some disc, and when you finish at the end of the day, you just where your goggles were.
Yes.
The rest of you was just dust.
Yeah.
But having a cab like this would have been just
Yes,
wonderful.
yes, would have been a very good step up from having no cab at all.
Yeah. The modern cabs these days, they have radios, they have the whole
Yes, they got
GPS
yeah,
units.
they're just like a modern car, have all the luxuries, and yes, it's certainly are a pleasure to drive nowadays.
Oh well, John, thank you very, very much for that.
That's
And,
right, no problem.
Plan is, it's real pioneering. We've never been through there on tractors before. We're going to have a go. The flax looks bad. It will probably sink, but we might not.
So the last time I was looking at a bit of footage, you all lined up and went charging into a...
Oh, that was a hole down there, yeah. We were idiots then.
So, fair enough. So you've improved a bit.
Yeah, no, we've improved a bit.
And we've got a few Fergies here to go racing off into.
Yeah, the first one with half tracks on. Second one's just the old spade lug grips.